Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we have the new Tikitaka M5. So let's open this up and see what we got. So we're gonna take off our slip cover here. We'll open this up. We have our cover here. We have our instruction manual. We have our controller. Let's get this out of here. We have our double-sided tape with our grip feet here that go on the bottom. We have our braided USB-C to USB cable. We have our two extra Gateron Kasumi short travel switches. We have our QR code here that'll take you to the LED lamp app to change the settings on your controller. And that's it. Let's get this box out the way. And here we have our controller. So when we go across this controller, we have all small buttons across the body. This is the pill style layout. So you have 2 pills on each side and 4 pills here on the bottom. You have your home menu row across the top with your 2 action buttons and an extra start button here on the top. You have your standard size display. The body is all metal on top and bottom. Then when we go across the bottom, there is nothing on the bottom. You have an extra power port here on the right-hand side. You have your pass-through port here on the left-hand side. And you have your power port here on the top. When you flip the pad over, you can see this controller will use Gateron's or Kailh V2 low-profile switches with your boot cell button right here in the middle. And next we have the paper test. What's the paper test? We take a standard piece of American 8.5 by 11 printer paper. We turn this sideways. We can see this pad is shorter than the piece of paper by roughly 1 adapter, wider than the piece of paper by roughly 1 adapter, and essentially the same height as one Brooks adapter off the table. So if you're wondering what this pad would feel like in person, take a piece of paper, put it on your lap or your desk, play just like this, and that'll give you a good clue of what this will feel like in person. So what's it like living with this controller? The first thing you're gonna notice are the pills going around the whole body. And if you're not familiar with the pill style layout, Mavercade started this out, and now a lot of other brands are starting to design their own styles of pills, and I really like where this is going. So when you see a layout like this, you know your goal is to buy this, go into pin mapping, and customize it the way you want it to be. Be prepared to simply hold the start button, connect your power cord to your PC, Mac, Linux, or Chromebook. You will see the website address appear here on the screen. That's 192.168, and you'll see the rest here on your screen. You'll go there on your web browser. You're gonna go to configuration and pin mapping. And all you have to do is press the pin viewer button and then press any button on this pad. It'll give you the number for that pin and just change that number to be whatever button you want it to be. Just make sure you do not change the home and the start button that are right here. The way I set mine, I put my start button here, my L3, my R3, my home button, my back end selector here, and then my turbo, which I don't use, I turn this to function. I set the 2 bottom buttons to up, and then that gave me 4 custom buttons here on the right, the bottom, the left, and the bottom to be my L1, L2, and however I want to set it up, I can set different profiles and try that out. And if you've ever played on a Mavercade, you've seen this pill style before. These pills are a little bit shorter, and when you take them off, you can see there is 1 switch underneath all your pills, and the pills are roughly 1.5 to 1.25 23mm keycaps. There are no rails underneath all the pills, but they don't wobble, they feel very stable, and when you're playing, you won't even notice. And my advice is, as soon as you take it out of the box, be prepared to play with it for about an hour, and then go into the pin mapping and change your layouts, and just try different layouts till you find what your hands prefer. And that's why you're looking at this style of pad. It's made to be customized. And if you're playing games like Street Fighter, you can have your drive rush and your drive parry on your left pinky and your right pinky on the bottom. Figure out how you want it to go, but don't be in a rush. You will find the style that fits best for you, but that's why you're picking up this pad, to style it and play it the way you want it to play. So when you take this pad out the box, it'll come with the Gateron low profile Kasumi short travel switches. And you're also able to use the Kailh Chalk low profile V2 switches. Just don't get in the rush. The first time I did it, it was hard to do, but now I have a Kailh button here for my start button that clicks, and I have the Kasumi switches going across the rest of the body. This pad also comes with a feature I haven't seen on any other controller. You can use an app to change the base lights on this controller. You just open the app, so when you refresh the list, you'll see your controller there. There's no connection required. It finds it automatically. When you click the controller, you can change the brightness levels, you can change the colors, you can go into the mode screen and add new modes and change the design of the lights on the base. And your changes are instant, giving you so many ways to customize your controller and make it the way you want it to be. And this pad comes stock with a 0.7.11 GP2040 CE firmware. So what's it like playing with this controller? So this controller comes stock with the Gateron Kasumi short travel switches. This controller is also Kailh low profile switch compatible, so I may take those out and try something else, but I like the way these switches feel and haven't needed to switch them yet. Just remember, if you do switch the switches out to Kailh low profile switches, be careful installing the switches. The pins are tight the first time, so line them up slowly and you'll be just fine. So how do you connect to your console? You'll take your power cord, connect to your controller, connect your adapter to the end of the cord, connect the adapter to your console, set your controller to X input mode. On your controller, press home, press start, and you're all set. And if your controller has a pass-through port, you'll take your power, connect to the controller, you'll take your booter device, connect to the pass-through port, make sure your pad is in PlayStation or Xbox mode, grab your power cord, connect to your console, press home, press start, and you're all set. For Xbox, you have the Brooks XV3, you have the Mayflash Magic X, and you have the Mayflash Magic Boot for Xbox. For PS5, you have the Brooks Wingman FGC, you have the Mayflash Magic S Ultimate, you have the AllFightSticks.com booter, you have the Mayflash Magic Boot, and you have the Cosmox Gaming Hot 42 Booter 5, and you have the Brooks Wingman FGC 2. This adapter will not work in the pass-through port at the time of this recording. You will have to plug this at the end of your cord, but this is your option for PS5 only games. And if you see the Magic Boot S5 online, at the time of this recording, this adapter is not compatible with this controller. You will want to pick up the original Magic Boot. So let's get some things on the table and compare. So here we have the M5 and the Hot 42 Cosmox Gaming C16S. And when I put them back to back, we can see they're exact same width. We can see these pads are essentially the exact same height. And they're the same height off the ground, with the M5 being barely taller than the CS. When we go across the body, we have all small buttons across the body with our pills going around the edges. We have our menu row across the top, our L3 and R3 buttons, and a second start button here on the top with our display here on the top. When we look at the C16S, we have all small buttons across the body, one large button here in the middle, and 4 pills going around the edges with 2 small buttons here on the bottom. We have our home row across the top, our display, and our switches here to turn off the lights and our tournament lock switch. Both have a power port on the top, with this pad having a second port here on the side, and this pad having a second port here on this side. Both have a pass-through port, the pass-through being on this side and the pass-through being on this side for this pad. This pad is a metal base with a plastic body, with a removable magnetic acrylic top to change your artwork, with this pad being metal on top and bottom. And where you compare the layout of the C16S to the M5, you can see they do have a different layout. If I line up the directionals on the left-hand side, you can see how the pill here is lower on the CS. And when I line up the action buttons on the right-hand side, the pill in the CS is lower on the right-hand side as well. And if I put the paper in the middle, if you're looking for the split, you can see the split is wider on the M5. So if you like a pill style layout, when it comes to the CS to the M5 is higher on the pad, so you get more of a wrist rest here on the bottom. This pad here is lower, but that's only because of the component here to allow you to change your artwork. So you can swap your artwork whenever you like on this pad. The pills on this pad are more up and down on the left and right hand side, and they are slightly slanted here on the CS and more slanted on the bottom as well, with the pill keycaps being slightly taller and slightly wider on the C16S. With this pad having your center button here, so as you play, you can tap this way or tap with your pinky. And with this pad, you get a little more space down the middle that is slightly wider and taller for more of a wrist rest on the bottom. This pad coming stock with the Hot 42 Cosmox Gaming Wind Engine Kailh low profile switches, and this pad coming stock with the Gateron low profile Kasumi switches. But out the box, this pad can use Kailh's or Gateron switches. Here we have the Tikitaka M5 and the Tikitaka S15, and when I put them back to back, you can see they are essentially the same height and the same width, with the M5 being slightly taller off the ground. When we go across the body, we have all small keycaps across the body, with our pills going around the edges, with our menu row going across the top, and our extra start button here on the side with our display, our 2 power ports, and our pass-through port here on the side. The S15 is all small keycaps. These are 23s, these are 20s, and there are rings going around each keycap. So when you're comparing these 2 pads, this pad being all metal top and bottom, this pad being acrylic with a matte finish on top and bottom, you cannot change the artwork as it is sealed to the bottom of the acrylic top. This pad comes stock with Gateron Kasumi low profile switches, but you can easily take those out and put Kailh V2 low profile switches and play with either switch you decide. This pad comes with the Kailh V1 switches, but it does work with Kailh V2 switches as well. I took all the V1s out and these are V2 switches. I'm currently running the Tikitaka Panda V2 low profile switches on this pad, but if you also like the ghost switches, this pad is very quiet with ghost switches. And you could take those same switches and put it in this pad here. This pad having your display on the top, this pad does not. This pad having 2 power ports, this does have 3, but this has the pass-through port here on the side for your Xbox and PS5, and this pad does not. So when you're looking at these two, this is 2024, this is 2025, and I love the evolution from this pad to this pad here. And I hope with this being the M5, they make an M6 that is just the same layout, just put on this frame. With the rings or without the rings, but just taking this split standard layout with your 2 up buttons here on the bottom and put it right here in this frame where you can run Gateron or Kailh switches. And I think that'll be a really nice addition to the Tikitaka lineup. So here we have the Tikitaka M5 and the M3. They are essentially the same height off the ground, and they are the same height and width, with the M5 being barely wider than the M3. When we go across these pads, they both have a metal frame. This pad has a glass top with artwork you cannot change. This pad has rings going around each keycap. These are small keycaps at 20mm. These are small keycaps at 23mm. This larger keycap here is a 25, and this has pills going around that are roughly 1.5 keycaps in size. They both have their home row across the top with their extra start button here on the sides, their L3, R3, their display on the top. They both have a power port on the top, with this pad having another power port here on the right-hand side. And this pad has a pass-through port for your Xbox and PS5. This pad does not. So if you're torn between these two pads, if you play on PC, they play essentially the same. They both come with the Gateron Kasumi switches. But again, this pad having your rings, so if you like to slide a lot, you can easily do that on this pad. And this pad having the pill style layout going around the whole body if you prefer that layout with a split down the middle. And this pad being your standard 16 button layout. So that's the Tikitaka M5. If you're a fan of the pill style layout, I think you're really gonna like this controller. It gives you a nice premium build with the metal on top and the bottom. You get a large wrist rest and it slopes off nice and smooth here on the bottom. You have your 2 power ports, one on the top and one on the side. So if you have any issues, you always have a backup. You have your pass-through port here on the side to play on any console. This pad comes with the Gateron short travel switches. They feel really nice and snappy on this controller. And if you're not a fan of Gaterons, what's really nice on this pad, you can easily take the keycaps off, pull out the Gaterons, and you can put in Kailh low profile V2 switches on this controller. Just be careful when you install them. It is coming from the factory, so the pins are very tight. Line them up, take your time, and they'll fall right in place. And again, when you're playing on a pill style pad, your goal is to customize this as soon as you take it out the box. So play with it one way for an hour, change all the buttons around the way you want them to be for another hour, and dial in and find the way you like to play on your pad. And what makes this controller unique is you have the LED app. So you can download this app on your phone or your tablet, connect the power to your controller, and there is no connection process. As soon as you open the app, you will see this appear in the list. You just grab it and you can change your base light colors and design and reflection however you want it to be. And I think Tikitaka did a great job with this frame, having the 2 power ports and the pass-through port here on the side, the base lights features and the button lights features. And I hope they use this as their base for all their other layouts. So this is their M5 pill style layout. They take all this off. They remove the pills and put 2 up buttons here, keep the split down the middle, put a standard layout. That could be the M6 or M7. You can only imagine they can have the different numbers on the same platform, just having different layouts. The metal and the really nice colors, the ability to run 2 different types of switches, Gaterons or the Kailh low profiles, or both at the same time. And I think you're gonna like it. So that's the Tikitaka M5. If you're a fan of the pill style layout, I think you're really gonna like it. Thanks for watching, bye.